Welcome back to Rockingham Speedway. Coverage of the Mark Brooks Memorial Black's Tire American 200, presented by Food King. With Scott Sutherland, I'm Rick Benjamin. Dana White bringing us under caution for the second time today just moments ago. He's had problems on the backstretch. Looks like he's had a little contact there, and he has stopped. So the yellow is waving right now. And pit stops will be key here today because you've got, 5 sets of tires to work with. Earlier, some of the contenders on pit road. There's the Strutmasters.com 07 car. Woody Howard, who led early from the pole. Trevor Bayne. And the 22, Drew Herring, the Black's Tire service machine. Tell us how this is going to play out today.
5 sets of tires. Very unusual for these teams to get that many sets of tires. Remember, it is a tire management racetrack. You're allowed to change tires and fuel the car under the same caution, just not at the same time.
So you've got to make your tires last basically 40 laps here. That's a tall order. As we said, they start to fall off historically around 20 or 25, 30 laps. So you're going to have to drive the car when it's not the best. Take a look at some of the action. The 2 car, Matt Hawkins on the high side, the Janet King car. A little contact there with the Food King car, the 54, the CNC Boilers entry. The former series champ Clay Rogers down into the corner.
Clay Rogers with a lot of big track experience. You really think that's got to be an advantage coming here. You're looking at Benny Gordon, Mark McFarland. That's going to be a fight we're going to see all day long. Coming
up on 40 laps on the board. This is for the lead. Tom Hessert in the Mako 9 car on the bottom, getting by James Busher in the Mercedes-Holmes 84. Hessert, your new leader. How about Benny Gordon and Mark McFarland? Gordon had to drop to the rear. He's already up front.
Yep. But remember, we had 2 pit stops. These guys came in on the first caution. The rest of the field came on the second caution. So they got that advantage in track position. Benny Gordon very fast. Tom Hessert, what a great story. Started 22nd here today. And you say, well, how can you start that deep in the field and all of a sudden you're leading in really strong race car? Because he understands he needs a comfortable race car and take care of those tires.
Yeah, Tom Hessert in the last 12 months, he's driven for Andy Belmont in the ARCA Remax Series, and so he's been at Talladega, he's been at Daytona. This is not a place where the speed is going to face him. Same for Clay Rogers here in the Food King CNC Boiler car. Same for James Busher, really, because they've all got similar experience on these big speedways.
And remember, Tom Hessert did race this race in the ARCA Remax Series.
That's right.
And that is big experience when you come to these race cars.
As opposed to Tim Bainey Jr. in the Aaron Sales and Lease Ownership 00 with our Aaron's onboard camera. This is Bainey's first look at a place like this.
And wow, what a ride this is. Just to be able to be here is so much fun.
J.P. Morgan, meantime, the Phil Morgan Pottery car. He's got our awesome awnings onboard camera as well. Another driver. Now, he's raced at Iowa, but he's getting his first look at a big high-speed racetrack where you might be 175 or 180 at the end of the backstretch.
And you are carrying the mail when you go down these straightaways and you sail it off into these corners. You got to think they're almost 180 miles an hour.
Now you can hear him on the throttle. Are you using much brake here as he works with Carl Long?
If you're using much brake here, you're in big trouble. You've got to roll up, maybe touch the brake, get the nose to set, roll that car. You'll pick the gas up before the middle of the turn and soft pedal that thing all the way out the corner and get up on top of the straightaway.
Tom Hessert III, the Mako Chevrolet. Now Benny Gordon and the Samuel Metals Ford right up underneath. Now, is this a case where Gordon might have a problem getting by because of the aerodynamics?
When you are coming off the corner, you're going to run up underneath the guy in front of you. You're going to try to take that air off the back of his spoiler, loosen him up a little bit. However, when you go off into the corner, you need to duck out. Gets a little bit of air on that nose or your car may not turn.
Hessert able to hang on. He has 1 car width off the bottom. Historically here at Rockingham, we've seen guys hug that white line when your tires are good. You've got to be able to drive these things up high when the tires start to go away, don't you?
Well, watch these 2 at the bottom, and then you look right behind him. Mark McFarland running a much different line. Well, that time he came through the bottom. On the last corner, he was up higher, 2 grooves higher, and you're going to see that. They're going to work around the racetrack to find where their car was really good.
Down through the tri-oval at start-finish. Gordon to the bottom, wants the lead, wants to try to take it away from Tom Hessert III. Benny Gordon fighting for the championship. Look at him get loose there coming off the corner.
And his crew chief and spotter go, no, 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 don't. Hey, I don't want to see your car sideways all day long, especially at 150 miles an hour.
And with $150,000 up for grabs here now, he's got McFarland. They were separated by 27 points when we dropped the green today. Gordon just needs to stay and keep McFarland kind of in sight. He doesn't necessarily need to win this race, does he?
Absolutely does not need to. If Mark McFarland can win the race, you've got to be second or third. You've got to keep him in check all day long. However, Mark McFarland has an advantage at this point in the race.
Welcome back to Rockingham. Brett Butler brings the Verve Energy drink on the pit road. He's got a gearbox problem. We've had a debris caution and a change. Some drivers have been to pit road, including the 66 car, Benny Gordon.
And the 81 car, Mark McFarland. Everybody went to pit road, get those tires, but more importantly, Benny Gordon came twice and got his fuel. Now this is a change in leadership.
That's right. Derek Cale in that 22 car had been in front. The Heritage Equipment Gertie Engine's Laughlin car. He gives up the point to McFarland in the Sears Auto Center 81. Pete Knight's entry. And McFarland needs to get to the front, stay there all day, and keep the 66 in his rearview mirror.
And he needs to get all the bonus points he can come up with. That means leading the most laps, leading halfway, you name it, he needs it.
Well, here comes Benny Gordon. He sits third right now, trying to gobble up Derek Cale and get back up and start knocking on the door of Mark McFarland, so these two can settle the championship fight amongst themselves.
Depending on how bonus points can go, you know, it's Mark McFarland might be able to win the race, pick up all the bonus points. Benny Gordon runs second. You'd think maybe he's still winning championship. He may be out of it. You may still have to pass Mark McFarland.
Only 27 points separating these two drivers as they fight for the $150,000 USAR Hooters Pro Cup national title here in 2008. Now, Gordon, of course, has won the title already. McFarland searching for his first championship. Now Gordon has cleared the 22 and moved to second. Meantime, the 55 car, Woody Howard, the Dean Motorsports Chevrolet, the Longhorn win from the Pole Award in balance. If Howard can get back to the front, he and Derek Kelly starting to battle there in the 21. Kelly in the Hooters NGA Golf Tour entry out of Florida, trying to reel in the 55 of Howard.
Howard's got a great race car. It's all about management. Take your time. It's a long race here today. Don't get caught up in what everybody else is doing. Just take care of your race car. Let it all come to you. It's a long day out here.
Let's get on board the Aaron's machine. This is Tim Bainey out of Pennsylvania, the 00. Our Aaron's onboard camera today. Sitting back in 24th spot, directly in front of him, running 23rd, Gary St. Amant of the Jakes.com Chevrolet. Of course, they wiped out a car at Iowa Speedway a few weeks ago. That's their backup machine that they're using here today. Long straightaway. This is the backstretch at the Rock. Out of turn 4, the Grease Lightning machine. The Speedco Truck Loops 4 of Jay Fogelman.
His 200th race. What a day this is. If your 200th race is at Rockingham Speedway, it's what you dream about when you're a youngster.
Fogelman running 16th right now, up onto the backstretch here. And the backstretch at Rockingham, one of those really interesting parts of this racetrack. It can narrow up on you quite surprisingly if you lose grip. The Awesome Monning's onboard camera. This is J.P. Morgan, the Phil Morgan Pottery 23 car. And he's struggling a little bit here right now as well. He's running up at about 18th position, so right around where Fogelman is.
And you would think when these guys, the tires start to wear, you're going to see them slide up the corners. They're going to use that banking, let the car scrub the speed off and try to get a run down the hill to keep the momentum going.
Drew Herring in the Black's Tire Service 22 running 5th with the Miller Lite Rookie of the Year prize in front of him today. Matt Hawkins in the Janet King 2. That's a lap car. He's way back in 30th. They've struggled. They've had problems earlier this weekend. He's able to sail by. Meantime, 6th and 7th, Matt Morell in the 32 of the Morell Lease Wintron car, and Trevor Bain. Earlier we talked to Andy Hillenberg about this racetrack.
Hi race fans, welcome back to the Rock. It's been just 1 year since we reopened, and I want to thank each and every one of you for helping make some of our dreams come true, and look forward to bringing you grassroots racing from here on out. Thanks a bunch.
Indiana Andy Hillenberg, great sprint car driver. He's raced in the Indy 500, a former ARCA Remax Series champ. Up front, the 81 of McFarland, the 66 of Gordon, side by side. They thread the needle down into 1.
And that's a huge lap. That was for the lead, and that's for 5 points for Benny Gordon. He takes it away, and we're coming to halfway. That's another 5 points for Benny Gordon. You know that Mark McFarland didn't want to give that lead up. Gordon,
the championship leader, coming in by 27 over McFarland, adding to the lead if he leads halfway. That, what, 15 points he picked up there. The 5 bonus for leading the lap, the 5 bonus for leading it halfway, and so forth. So Benny Gordon wins our Lucas Oil halfway leader prize. He's only led 2 laps so far. We've already had 6 lead changes in the first 100 laps today in the American 200. And now Gordon, with clean air and an open racetrack in front of him, he has set sail.
Mark McFarland, I think, was really pushing the car hard to hold on to that lead. He wanted to lead to halfway, and maybe he's worked on those tires just a little bit too much, because Benny Gordon, wow, he's got a great race car.
Benny Gordon loves the view through the windshield today at the Rock. A beautiful day for racing here at Rockingham Speedway in Rockingham, North Carolina. We are glad to have you with us. What a historic day for the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series to be back at this legendary facility. Mark McFarland and Pete Knight's Sears Auto Center car in second. We'll climb on board with Jay Fogelman. Take a look at the Grease Lightning clean team. Right now, Tom Hessert is third. He leads the group after starting 22nd. We'll be back at Rockingham.